Hello, once again, killer awesome truckers you are. It's time for another trucker talk. Yes, I'm back out walking. This is a good time for me just to kind of, get my thoughts out and stuff while I'm walking, trying to get some exercise. So, let's talk about trucker pay. That's been kind of a topic as of recently because of how the market is and people not making the kind of money that they should be making. So what is considered good pay for trucking? Some say you should be making at least $1,000 a week. I've seen some say that you should be making at least $2,000 a week. Now, something that I started to look into was minimum wage. I thought it was $15 an hour. Not yet. That federal mandate's not supposed to happen until 2025. So it was approved, but it's not until 2025 that it's $15 an hour. And there are still places on the east that are like $7 or $8 an hour. And then you got the places out in the west that are somewhere between $10 and $15 an hour. So how much should it be for trucking? Is it based on what state you're out of? Is that why some people get really crappy cents per mile and others get better? I think that might be part of it. And then, well, we know that another part is there are just some companies out there that are just utter crap. Okay, so for me, working at Swift, it was 52 cents a mile on the west, 53 cents a mile on the east. Now, part of that is because I'm a veteran. If I had stayed in flatbed when I had first started, I would have been making better money. But I was not in the physical shape to be able to do it. Although, my wife and I have been talking about this the other day because I was sharing with her the feedback and responses that you've all been giving me on one of my previous videos, which I'll put up here. It was in regards to Swift and what's happening, what's happening with Swift drivers out there. She's wanting me to lose weight for good reason. I'm trying to lose weight also. But maybe getting into shape to where I can go into flatbed. And we do have a viewer come to the channel that's a flatbedder who's doing really well. And that's because flatbed with Swift, they're having a hard time trying to keep people staying in flatbed. So if you can hack it, if you can put up with it, you could do quite well and have yourself a pretty secure job. And I think that might be something to work towards. I would even consider leasing or buying a truck and being a owner-op that's leased on, or I don't think I'd want to get my own authority right off the bat. What's this guy doing? This is not an RV park. Maybe he's taking his 10-hour break and he made a spot. Yeah, we don't know anyone in trucking that does that, huh? But yeah, the money can be really good. And I would very much like to have my own truck. I really would. And having that freedom and you can work as much or as little as you want. One thought that I had as far as getting older and reaching retirement is maybe working 6 months out of the year, making enough money and staying out of the bad seasons. Not that I can't drive it, I just don't want to be out on the road with those that can't drive it, you know what I mean? But let's get to the money issue. So the OTR wasn't working for me because the money wasn't consistent. It wasn't where it should be, at least in my opinion. Right now, I'm making $800 a week for a 40-hour job. Now you can do the math and figure out how much an hour I'm making. And I was not making that consistently with Swift. With a lot of wasted time, even if I was able to stay busy, it would have been more than 40 hours a week. Okay, we're going to have a change of scenery, so... Okay, so it's a little bit later. My boss said to take this white truck, and we got to get a wrap on it. There's a problem. So you've got the CEO and you got the owner. So the CEO, so this is why I like this company. The CEO is like, hey, take the white truck. We need to get the wrap on there. Take it over to this place just across the street. Well, the owner, he's got his truck in the way. So I go to his office. He's on the phone. Sounds like an important business call. Getting myself a drink. I know some of you are thinking, this is not what I tuned in for. Welcome to the channel. I cannot resist. I was trying to get the 2 Mountain Dew flavors, the new ones. I've already gotten them once, but I'm trying to set them aside for a project. They didn't have them. Just my luck. I found them. Ever since I started trucking, I now started backing a vehicle, a four-wheeler. So we had leftovers in our fridge, and some of them had to be thrown out. So I grabbed something that was in a styrofoam container, saying, okay, well, you know, it was my wife's, and I didn't want stuff to go bad, and I knew she wasn't feeling too good. So I grabbed it. It was a breakfast sandwich. Later on in the morning, I get this message. You took my sandwich. It was a turkey sandwich with it was a moisty melt or no, it was just a breakfast sandwich. Some of you might get the reference. My sandwich. Some of you are like, what the hell did I just tune into? Welcome to Killer TV. Yeah, we're all official here. Okay, so I gotta make it up to her. I have to head to the grocery store. So I had this interesting conversation today because there at work, some pallets were being dropped off of, I don't know what it was. Maybe they were guns. I work for a security company, so they got guns. But it was a local truck driver, so day cab. I forgot, was it ABF? I think it's ABF Freight. It's got like kind of like a green stripe on the trailer, or it might have been something else. I'm not sure. But oh, by the way, I was able to take that truck to get wrapped.
the big boss was coming out because he had the sign for that load. And I said, yeah, I need to take that truck to get wrapped, but your truck's in the way. He's like, oh, so you need me to move it? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. But anyway, I'm out there, I'm waiting for him, and well, no, the big semi truck and trailer is kind of blocking the back alley, or where the fence is at, so I couldn't leave right away. So I talked with the guy, and I said, hey, how are loads doing for you? And he's like, oh man, they're doing great. I'm really busy. And he's local, and I think he said he gets paid by the hour. So that dude's he's making money. He got to get that money. He's getting the money. But I told him, I said, I've been OTR for a couple of years, and he's like, yeah, I did OTR for about 5 years. He's like, it's a great way to, get your experience and stuff. I told him I was with Swift. Yeah, it's a great way to get experience. A lot of people will tell you that Swift is a starter company. It's not a stay there for a career company. Although you can. I mean, there are people that do that. But he said, yeah, the money is not in OTR. It's an LTL. He says LTL, they get paid by the hour, and they're getting paid somewhere around like $34-35 an hour. Woo! Woo! Where's the money? Show me the money. It's LTL, apparently. Now, how many jobs of LTL are blah, blah, blah. How much? How many jobs of LTL are out there? Say that 10 times fast, all right? Let's see how well you do. So how many LTL jobs are out there? Are there a lot? Or are they hard to come by? Yeah, I don't know. But it's interesting that he said that, because I read that somewhere else, that someone was saying LTL is much better than OTR. So if you're an OTR, reefer, drive-in, and you're not doing really well and you've got experience, maybe look into LTL. Maybe OTR is not worth it. And right now at this current time, it's not worth it for me anymore. I don't regret doing OTR for 2 years. I want to say I had a great experience, but not always. I like traveling. I like traveling and I like driving. So in that aspect, I had a good time. I got to go around and see a lot of things, and do a lot of different types of film shoots and stuff. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So, wow, 30 some bucks an hour. Okay, let's put that in perspective. So I'm glad this really happened, and I'm glad I started recording this today, because it all kinds of ties. It kind of ties together. So you're working whatever, and you're making 40 cents a mile, or 45, or something. You're not getting paid completely for your time. There's going to be sitting waits and all kinds of waste of time and all that other stuff. Losing time because people want to take a shower at the fuel island of a truck stop. So if LTL is paying $30 an hour, and if you wanted to translate your current mileage to dollars an hour, how much per hour are you actually making? Are you making $15 an hour? Are you making less than that? Some areas the minimum wage isn't $15 yet, but it's supposed to be in 2025. So why wait? I mean, prices are expensive. You know, and if you're making something like $7-8 an hour, screw that. Screw that. Find something else. This job ain't worth it. Oh, well, this job, that job. I mean, I'm not in the truck anymore. I'm in a car. This, nope, not this. That. Yeah, trucking is just, it's not worth it for that much money. So how much is it worth it? Well, if LTL is paying $30, more than $30 an hour, then I think OTR should be $20 an hour. You should be getting somewhere around $20 an hour. So let's break that down just real quickly here. So let's say you're working a 40-hour job, right? $20 an hour, that's $800. So at the minimum, you should be bringing home, okay, well, gross. Ew, gross. Gross pay. This truck better not hit me. It's right there. It's like, swing wide, it's a freaking trailer. It's Swifty Swift in a pickup truck. Swift does have pickup trucks, by the way. They don't swing wide either. All right. Anyway, so yeah, 800 gross. Okay, you should be making that minimum. If you're not making that, something's wrong. All right. I'm not saying there's something wrong with you. I'm just saying there's something wrong with the situation. That's 40 hours. Okay. Okay. I think it's safe to say that you could work, let's say on average, maybe 10 hours a day. And I'm not saying driving, all right? That's driving and not driving. Okay, that's the time spent at shippers, receivers, picking up the load, getting loaded, whatever. Let's just say 10, all right? And there's 7 days in a week. Let's just pick 6 of those, all right? Because the 7th day could be kind of like a buffer day in case other days don't work. So we'll just say 6. So we'll say 60 hours in 1 week. Okay, well, 20 of those hours is overtime. At a regular job, it would be overtime. So if you're making $20 an hour, then it's going to be $30 an hour for those other 2 days. So $20. So 20 times 30 is $600. So when you take the 800 and this, what did I say, 600? 600, that means you should be bringing home, well, gross, $1,400 to make it worth your time. If you're not bringing that, if all you're bringing in is like $500, dude, unless you really like being out on the road and being out and around and stuff, and I did like that, but I could not sustain it. I tried to sustain it as long as I could, and it got to the point I just could not do that anymore financially. But yeah, if you want to know, if you want to follow the money, and you're making less than $1,000 a week, and if you're putting in like 60 hours a week and you're getting like 1,000 or something, man, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So, how much should you make? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you should be you need to bring a check somewhere between $1,000 and $1,400 as a company driver. All right. I ain't talking about owner operators and lease operators, glorified company drivers, but you know, because they got all these expenses and stuff that they got to worry about. It's very complicated, and I'm not the right person to talk about the leases and stuff like that, because I have no idea. I just know there's a lot of expenses. But yeah, I mean, there you go. That's what I think. Let me know what you folks think about that. I enjoyed putting this video together, you know, kind of laid back, and you know, there just seems to be talk about, you know, is it worth it anymore in trucking? kick the bucket with Truck It. With the reputation that truckers get, and the way that you're treated, the way, you know, people sneer at you, and all the crap that you got to deal with at truck stops and people hitting your truck. And yeah, I mean, like I said this on another video, you can be the greatest driver ever, you know, and you go park at a truck stop. It's really tight. Not a problem for you. You can get in and out. That's no problem. That doesn't mean the next person can do that. And they hit your truck and all this other stuff. And you've seen it on Bonehead Truckers. So, you know, nightmares. When you see that stuff, you're like, yeah, that could be me. With all that crap you got to deal with, and then you got to get the truck fixed, and then you lose time, then you don't get paid for that lost time, or maybe they give you $60 for shop pay. It just adds up. It just adds up, and not in the good way. All right, it's not the money adding up; it's the crap adding up. You know, and then you got this big full platter of crap, and that's not good. Anyway. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to talk about it and just have a laid-back conversation about it. So let me know what you people think in the comments. How are you doing as far as money? How much money are you making, cents per mile? Are you LTL? Are you working by the hour? How many hours a week? Let us know. Let's have a conversation. Let's help each other out. Until the next video, have a killer awesome day.